Ladies and gentlemen, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Our guest today is teaching women how to make money from product-based businesses, how to avoid the pitfalls of financial insecurity while ensuring they keep their health and family in the process. Today, she's going to show you how to increase your sales with your existing clients. Please put your hands together and help us welcome to the Win Sales Now podcast, our good friend, Mary Philippou.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. What a great intro.
Well, it's an honor to be here with you. You're a rock star. And what we know about you is that you've got more than 30 years of business experience. And in Australia right now, you're considered as one of the best and most strategic minds in the entrepreneurial space. So after 30 years of business, what can you share with us? I'm sure they haven't all been good things. I'm sure there's been some highs and some lows, like a game of snakes and ladders.
Definitely. Look, over 30 years, I've had two separate businesses, primarily in the manufacturing industry. And very turbulent. So some failures and also some wins, of course, in business. But the aim of the game is to be resilient and stay in.
What in the manufacturing space? What have you been doing?
Well, we were producing probably leisure wear that went across Australia nationwide and into New Zealand, probably in the mid 80s, early 90s.
And business today in Australia and New Zealand, what's changed over the past 30 years? What trends have come in and what trends have gone out?
Oh, look, Daniel, well, that was the first business. So the second business I had just had after 25 years. So there's two separate businesses. The big change in the last 10 years has been Chinese imports coming into Australia and thus killing all of the manufacturing industry in Australia, from clothing as to what I had done and also to other areas of business. So you do find your area of business changing dramatically, and that's when people are challenged about where to change and where to go from there.
And out of all the things you could have done, why did you choose to be in business rather than being an employee?
Oh, I've been in business too long. I think primarily I'm very passionate about what I do. I believe in the products I sell. I believe in looking after people, and it's also in the bloodline. You know, I come from a family of business. I worked very young with my father in his business, and it's just something I took very naturally. So for me, it's a no-brainer to be in business. I did try a few other things as I got older, and hence here I am now, launching a mentoring business and helping others in the same areas.
Now, you mentioned there a key word about having belief in your product.
Yeah.
How important is it to believe in your own product and also to be using your own product? In our book, Win Sales Now, we say that it's the when Harry met Sally model of selling. You've got to be able to get that result in your own life. So people look at you and say, I want that. How important is this?
Oh, look, Daniel, in my experience, very important. I was very passionate about our product. I actually even wore it. I actually sold from the heart. I convinced people, companies, that our product was the best. And of course, we backed that up with our delivery, with our product and our quality. And still today, people are still wearing it after 25 years. That's the first product range. But it is important to believe in what you're doing. Yes.
Now, so this was a clothing business, was it?
Yeah, clothing business. Yep.
And what was your brand?
It was called Gunnet Sweats.
My brother and I, we launched a clothing business called Liquid Militia.
Oh, interesting.
And when you say they still wear it after 20 years, we moved on from our business in early 2000s. And I still see people wearing clothing items that we released 15 years ago.
Oh,
and I shake my head because we always prided ourselves on quality, and you look around and go, my gosh, after 15 years, they're still wearing it.
Yeah, but we were obviously the same, and our business grew through existing sales. So our business grew through department stores. Other department stores would talk about our product range because it was in demand, and of course, we just grew word of mouth. So it was just a fantastic experience.
So Mary, you just mentioned about existing sale. I know that before you mentioned also that in your opinion, you think that we can increasing our sales with our existing clients. Why do you think this is a very effective way to do so? Because we know a lot of people, they probably just want to spend a lot of money on the, the funnel to fund a new customer. They don't think about that. Do you have any personal, example that you can share with us?
Oh, certainly, Nini. I mean, I've done this right through my whole business experience.
Yep.
So, for instance, if you have a niche, which I always believed in niches because I believe to be the best in the industry. If you have a niche and you target those customers that belong to the product line, and you're confident with the belief of the product and the quality and the back end is all good, it's just a matter of getting out there and finding those customers. So, for instance, if I met a client at a trade show and he or she was interested, we first start off and it might be a $10,000 sale. Then over years, it becomes a $300 sale. So for me, it's a no-brainer to work with all your current customer base to double your sales revenue. I mean, why would you go out and, thump the pavement to try and find new people, which can take actually months and sometimes years to build business? So it was always better to increase sales from your existing customers because you've already built rapport and they trust you. So, and I was just really offering solutions to their problems. So it was very easy for me.
There's a statistic in America, and we can convert it to Australian dollars. It's going to be very similar. But in America, it says it takes about $450 on average to find a new appointment, just an appointment. So all the time considered, the cost of the telephone calls, the cost of the technology, cost of your whole computer systems, it costs about $450 to get an appointment. That's not a sale. That's just the appointment. So we're understanding that the cost in Australia is around about $750 to get an appointment, not a sale, just the appointment. So this is a huge savings. And a lot of companies, we talk about buying customers. If you've got to buy a customer at $750 and they're only buying once and they're spending $500, you're losing $250 on every sale. So keeping this in mind, what are the other benefits here to make a resale to an existing customer?
Oh, look, I think it's a very big benefit because they see you as the expert and they see you that you follow up at each interval of their business. And if you know your business really well, Daniel, you get to know their spending habits. So I was very good at tuning into the business relationship and knowing exactly when the client had money to spend and always be at their forefront for making decisions. So I was very proactive in providing them products at any interim I could. And so they appreciate because they're saving time with suppliers. I mean, you think about how large companies would see you as an advantage because you're a solution to their whole department and they would love that.
Yeah.
And so it was very easy to pop in, show them products, they sign off on it. And then of course you just keep going with the next process, with the next client, and you find similarities with product supplied to various customers if you niche your product. So it's do it very quickly by doubling your income in sales.
You mentioned there about relationship.
Yeah.
How important is the relationship when you're making resales and referrals? Should we just be contacting our customer only when they want to buy?
Oh, not at all. No, all my clients were like family and friends, so I would engage with them very regularly, if they had problems, we'd troubleshoot things. So look, I'm a very personable person and I'm very face-to-face. So I'm better off popping in, hi, how are you? That sort of thing. So it depends on your personality type. I really believe your personality type has a lot to do with the success of your business. If you're frightened of meeting people or frightened of going to see your clients because of fear or whatever, it just doesn't happen. So you've got to be really comfortable to connect with them and find commonality with themselves.
So for people, women in business who have a product-based business, when they're meeting these clients for the first time, what are some of the milestones they should be able to start thinking about at the very start and incorporating the relationship? What should they be thinking about before the first sale?
I think firstly, initially, look, it takes time, Daniel, to build a relationship. It takes time. So it takes with little steps first by providing the product that the client needs. And then, of course, following up with that customer service on a timely manner that suits the client. And then from there, it just builds slowly. So, I mean, for me, being in business for 30 years, I mean, I built these clients for 12, 13 years. That was probably the lifeline of my clientele in general. So you do get to see a lifespan, but it's just taking those small steps to feel comfortable and connect. However the client wants to engage, you can then take the next step.
So with that relationship, can you have fast relationships, or do they take time?
No, they take time. You don't want to be the typical salesperson, you know, get in, get out type of situation. You really got to listen to these clients, understand their business, and give them what they require in that form of promotion or whatever activity they need in their business. So it really does take time, and you've got to really like one another too. I mean, I think that's important. If you don't like one another, it doesn't work.
We talk about marriage material.
Yeah, I really like the last line that you just shared. You know, you really like each other to do business as a long term. Yeah, I think that's really important.
It's definitely important, because you see, look, they want someone professional. So they want someone with a can-do attitude to present them with options, to solve the problems, because they don't have time in their businesses. So they engage with someone who can actually be an arm of their business to look after the whole thing. And many a time with many a customer over many years. And that was my biggest success.
The advice that you'd give women when they're building product-based businesses and building a business around resales, what advice would you give them?
Understand the market they're in and know that they're at a competitive price point, and try not to be everything to everybody, and find that niche. But of course, business today is really, it's tough for everybody, and everyone needs to find where they position themselves, but definitely to understand their marketplace with their clientele.
Absolutely. Now, for people who'd like to learn more about the good work you're doing there, Mary, where's the best place for them to find you on the internet?
They can go to my website, showmethemoneymentor.com.au. We have, they could have a free 1 hour session. I have a PDF available for those that contact me. And we can do a discovery chat, you know, to see if their fit is good and how I can help them.
Wonderful. Ladies and gentlemen, we've been joined by Mary Philippou today, considered one of the best strategic minds in the country with more than 30 years experience. Mary, it's been wonderful that we've been able to share some time with you, and thank you for sharing your strategies. Greatly appreciated.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, thank you.
My pleasure. We'll see you soon, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you go to Mary's website, showmethemoneymentor.com.au. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.